Hello everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. Many thanks for joining me. It's some while since I opened a package to camera, but this is not a gift from a viewer. It has been sent to me by Hollyland Technology to test. So what is it? Well, I have my trusty knife and my scissors here ready to open it. So let's see what I find. Hi, and thanks for joining me. There we go. It's a Hollyland LARK M1 wireless microphone, and I've been asked to test it, and I'm really chuffed, I have to say, because it is something I have been thinking about getting for a long while, but I've never got round to it. So I'm really pleased that the company approached me to give it a test. Now, many of you know that I often sit on the boat, hello everyone, and talk to you. I'm either on the back of the boat or sitting on the edge of the boat. Thanks for joining me. And it can often be very windy. It really is blowing up at the moment. And what I think I've never told you is that I sometimes use a lapel microphone which is wired back to my camera. But I don't let anyone see that normally, so you wouldn't be aware of it. And the reason I've not yet purchased a wireless microphone is that there are so many on the market. And when I have a choice, I'm not very good at choosing, and I tend to let things slip and not do anything. So let's open this up and see what's inside the box. Oh, it's sealed on the top. Getting there, albeit slowly. Wow, it comes in a very nice case marked Hollyland. Wow, that is something. So what we have here is a receiver and two transmitters. This is the wireless microphone, and it's very clever, this system, because as you open the box and take them out, these are already working. I don't know if you can see that it's lit up at the front, and this is also lit up, and it's quite simple. You just tack this onto here when you want to use it. Need to remove the little sticky bit on here. Just pop that there for the moment, and you get two of these, which is wonderful. So two people can be talking at the same time. Very useful if you are actually interviewing someone. So that's great to have that. And the other magical thing about it is that you actually put your charging point in here. This is a socket for your charger to go into when it needs recharging. The charging time for the box, microphones and receiver is 1.5 hours. The other thing it comes with is a microphone muff, which is in this little packet. I don't know if there's one or two in here. Oh, there's two in here. And that's very good. Very good indeed. What I need to do is test this, and I've got various tests in mind. I'm going to walk up to the embankment and do some testing up there where I think it's going to be windy. Let me tell you a little bit more about this first. Let's just pull this off here. I'm going to close this down for a minute, and that should preserve the power, hopefully. It has a quoted range of 656 feet, which is just less than 200 meters. That's out in the open. And each microphone weighs just 11.8 grams. They are extremely light indeed, which is good when you're wearing them. I need a little bit of time to read the instructions and test these. Inside the box here there's a whole range of cables. There's the charge cable and the cable for connecting to the camera. So I just need to get my head around this and I'll come back to you. Two cables are provided. One is to connect to your camera or a compatible TRRS device, and the other is to connect to your mobile phone. To do that you also need an adapter, either a lightning cable for the iPhone or Type-C cable for an Android phone. Another thing to mention is that the transmitter will fit into the hot shoe on your camera. I didn't actually do that, I just left it loose. Before I go, I'll just mention that on the side of the microphone is a little yellow button, and when you press that it reduces the noise in the background. It's a very clever system. So if you're out in the open and you want to reduce the natural sound around you, this will do it by pressing just this little button. So that's another element I need to test. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Very excited indeed. This is just something I've been wanting. It'll be so useful, particularly when I'm out on the boat. The boat is in a lock and I want to talk about things. I can have the camera on the boat and I can talk. I can see so many uses for this that I'm so looking forward to testing it and reporting to you. It's quite a windy day. I'm walking down my jetty. I'm now turning onto the pontoon. I should just be coming into view now. I'm going to stop here and wave. And now I'm going to carry on. I haven't changed any of the settings. I've used the straightforward settings. I haven't used the noise reduction setting yet. I'm walking up to the end of the pontoon. I may just be out of sight. I can see the camera. I'm waving to the camera again. I'm now walking back. In fact, what I will do is I will switch on the noise cancellation. When I switch it on, the blue light turns green. It's actually quite windy, so it'll be interesting to know what effect the noise cancellation has. My boots are actually quite noisy. So just stand here for a moment. I am in the wind. The sun is out. It's a glorious day. So whilst I'm standing here, I'll put it back onto the normal setting and we'll see what difference that makes. Yes, it's pretty windy. Pretty windy indeed. One of my favourite spots to sit and look out across the marina is up here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk up there and see how the recording goes and what the sound is like. So that's a bit of a distance and a bit of a climb. Let's see how I get on. Although it's windy, it's quite a nice day today. Oops, have to be careful up here because there are various holes in the ground. When I get there, I'll turn around and wave. There's quite a view from up here. It's quite something special. I can see way across in the distance to Crack's Hill. There's a beacon on the hill, and I can see that quite clearly from here. So we're going to come down again now. So I'm back down now. I'm just walking up again. I've now got the noise reduction setting on. There was a little bit of wind noise before, so I'm hoping the wind will be less noticeable. Right, here I am again. Just wave down to the camera. I'm going to make my way back. I'm going to walk down the shallow part now. Just makes it a bit easier for me. I'm now on the level, on the roadway, walking back to the camera. There is a lot of wind. The wind is hitting me quite hard. Remember, I haven't used the muff yet. When I use the muff, that will make things even better. I'm just coming back to the camera now. Well, let's hope that's all gone well. I'm going to go up the top, and up there I'll use the muff to see how well that also reduces the sound and the wind noise. Well, I'm pleased how it's going. At the moment I'm talking to you through the standard setting on the lapel microphone. In a minute I will put it onto the green setting by pressing the yellow button. That reduces the background noise, and I'll also test out the muff. It is quite windy up here. Now and again there are gusts and it sounds much windier than perhaps it does at the moment. What I haven't mentioned yet is that there is a volume setting on the receiver. I think it's like low, medium and high. It is automatically set onto the medium setting, and that is the setting I have been using. When you take the receiver out of the box, it lights up. It's telling you that it's ready to be used. On the other side here, you can see a plus button and a minus button. If you touch this, it increases the volume, and if you touch the other side, it decreases it. But there's no indication as to whether it has responded. So you've got no idea. Well, if you're using it out in the field and pressing it now and again, you don't know what setting it is on. The only thing I think you can be sure of is that when you put it back in the charging box and take it out again, it will go to the default setting of medium. And I do find that a little bit odd. So there are various combinations of settings when you use the Wi-Fi microphone. We've got the standard setting, we've got the noise reduction setting, and we've got the wind muff. So at the moment I'm on the normal setting. If I put it onto the other setting, this should turn green, which it has done, which is good. So I'll just keep talking to you for a moment to see if we notice any difference, and then I'll put it onto the wind muff, or put the wind muff on, I should say. Let's just get that out. I've got that in my pocket somewhere. If I can find it. Here it is. So there's that setting as well. There's two ways of putting this on. I haven't actually checked which way it is. If you look inside, there's a, don't suppose you can see this, but there's a little moulding in here. I think the moulding actually goes over this part here. So if I clip that on there, that should help keep it in place. It really has gone quiet now. Come on, wind, come back to me. It is beginning to blow up a bit more. I think I might just take a walk down there and we'll get a good idea about the distance again and how well it's working in these conditions. So I'm walking away from the camera. The wind is hitting me fairly hard. There is a plane in the sky at the moment making quite a lot of noise. I'm going to walk down to the trees that are ahead of me or fairly close to them. So I've got the noise cancellation on and the wind muff. Now whether these two should be used together, I don't know. So when I stop and turn around and come back again, I will cancel the noise reduction facility and see if we notice any difference. I'm not quite sure what distance I'm at. I'm a long way from the camera, that's for certain. But it'll be a good test. We're out in the open. I've got to be 100 meters, maybe more. I'm going to make my way back, but first of all, I'm going to change the setting. So I'm turning off the noise reduction. I'm making my way back now. The wind is actually behind me. In fact, there's not a lot of wind at all at the moment, but we're testing the distance as well, using the wind muff and the normal setting on the medium volume control. Oops, nearly lost my foot there in a hole. So, as you can see, I'm nearly back to the camera. I'll soon be there. I really need to look at the footage, look at the video and the sound quality on my laptop. It's very difficult to know when you're literally out in the field and looking at your camera just how well it's performing. I was very impressed with how the microphone worked at that distance, about 110 meters. This is with the noise reduction on. I'm back again. Can't get me away, can you? I haven't looked at anything on my laptop yet, but I wanted to give you my first impressions, and they are very good. I like the packaging. The units themselves are very neat, lightweight. The microphone clips on without any fuss. I didn't want to spend a lot of time reading the instructions. They're not detailed in any way. I just sort of hopped out. I wanted to get on and do the testing. I was that keen. And I am a bit of a numpty with some technical stuff, but this was so straightforward to get on and use. So my initial impressions are very good. I just wanted to say that now. I'll say more a little bit later. As I walked back to the boat, I thought it would be a good idea to do this particular test now in the same weather conditions. I am getting a bit chilly actually, so we'll be glad to get inside the boat. It is windy, there are waves on the water which we don't like to see. So I just thought I'll chat and see how we get on. It's very cloudy now, the sun is well hidden, has been for a long while. I can hear the sound of the wind turbine turning. I don't imagine this camera will pick it up. I'm set up, I'm on the noise reduction and with the muff on. The muff is down here. I'm just keeping it out of sight. I don't normally like the microphone on show when I am talking to camera, so I'm just seeing how that works, tucked down there as it were. So I think that's enough of this for now. And this time I really am going to go back into the boat. It's time for me to report how I got on with the Hollyland LARK M1 wireless microphone. And I'm pleased to report it was very successful. Before I go into any details, I have noticed that when I use my wired lapel microphone and also the wireless microphone that I've been testing, that the initial recording of my voice seems to be louder than it should, but it then settles down. I've noticed this on several occasions, and I do wonder whether it's just settling down, it's testing my voice and acclimatizing to my voice before it settles down to a general level. I do wonder if there's any audio engineers out there, whether they could explain whether my thinking on that is right. The interference that I was getting was, I think, due to me moving about and not a fault or anything with the wireless setup. When I was at the top of the embankment, about 40 meters from the camera position, when I wasn't moving, the clarity of my voice was very good indeed. When I was climbing up the embankment, there seemed to be some wind noise, but I am wondering now whether it was just the movement of my body against the lapel microphone, which I have here, you can see it here, was causing that. And likewise, when I did the 110 meter test on the top of the embankment, when I walked away from the camera, there was a little bit of interference there. But when I was a long way off and I wasn't moving and I was speaking, again, the clarity was excellent. So I think that says a lot for the LARK M1 wireless microphone. One thing I haven't mentioned, and which I'm not too clear about, is some of the terminology. In the instruction booklet, it refers to 40 meters free movement. Now, I don't actually know what that means, but I'm assuming it means that you can walk about within 40 meters from the receiver. The other distance referred to is 200 meters LOS, and LOS is loss of signal. So if you're 200 meters away, then it's not going to work that well. But I haven't tested it to that distance. I've only tested it to the 110 meters. I assessed that distance looking at Google. I thought it was about 100 meters when I was there, and I was about right. But measuring it more accurately, or trying to do it more accurately on Google, did suggest it was about 110 meters. And I think that was an excellent test. So I'm very pleased for that. Now, I expect many of you may be wondering whether I get to keep the equipment that I've tested. And the answer is yes. So am I biased? And the answer is no. I've recorded the tests that I've done. I've shown the tests that I've done. You've seen the evidence for yourself. I thought it worked very, very well indeed. Now, I have no comparators because I never used any other wireless system. So I can't say it's better than or worse than any other system that I've tried or tested, because I haven't used any other systems. But from using this one, it would be ideal for my purposes, because I wouldn't want to be a long distance away from the camera. I would probably be close to my boat, walking about the boat and that sort of thing. So there wouldn't be a lot of distance involved. So I think it would suit me very well. And I am happy to recommend it to anyone that is thinking of getting a wireless system. So just to show you again, that's what it is. That's what to look out for. There will be a link in the description of the video, so please click on that to find out more details about it. I'd like to thank Hollyland Technology for giving me the opportunity to test the equipment. It's the first time I've ever had such an opportunity, and I was very grateful for it, particularly as it was a piece of kit I had thought about buying. So thank you very much to them. I think I've mentioned all I can about it. You've seen me do the filming. You've seen the evidence for yourselves. You have to make your own mind up as to whether it is of interest to you. So all that is left for me to do and say is thank you all for watching. Leave any comments you have. I'm always interested in what you have to say about anything that I do and produce, so please leave your comments and let me know what you think. Look after yourselves, your friends and families. Take the utmost care. Until next time, bye for now.